In 3, 2, 1. The man himself. My man, dude. Fucking breaders, bro. Dude, the multi-million-dollar man himself, fellow friend and mod. Dude, how long have I known you for now?
It's coming up on. I met you in like 2017.
Yeah.
Like July of 2017 or June of 2017.
Yeah.
So coming up on like 3 years now.
Dude, that's wild. And you've been
I know.
you've been moderating my Twitch channel and Discord and fucking almost half the things in my life that I need to control. You're a part of, which is pretty fucking fire when you think about it. And because I remember meeting you whenever I was streaming at my boat shop that I used to run when I was still part-time, and I was breaking down my entire streaming setup every night and then setting it up after work every single day. And you came in as an old alias, the baseballer himself, dude.
Yes,
And then, yeah, man, you've been here ever since, which is so fucking rad and so cool to have you on the podcast to be able to talk about it, because you do have a very interesting story, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But yeah, dude, what a wild ride, man.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. I love it.
It has been a wild time. Yeah, dude, I'm super excited that obviously that you've been a part of it the whole way, but also that you're here right now because, again, a wild story. Like, one where you didn't even tell me about this for, I want to say, like a couple days after you popped into the channel. You'd been hanging out and just as like a regular viewer, chatting, talking, whatever, getting to know each other. We share a super common interest in baseball, big time, because you played, you've got the interest. It's awesome. And I think you led it by you were like, I met Mike Trout. And I was like, oh shit, that's awesome, dude. How did you get the opportunity to meet Mike Trout? And you were like, well, it's kind of a long story. And I would love it if you would lead me into that story.
Yeah, so I was a sophomore in high school. It was my second semester. It was right around November. Started feeling like super shitty, like tightness in my chest, like couldn't breathe. Like I would be like, what the hell is this shit? Like, what the fuck? And then my dad and I walked to AutoZone at our old house to get a battery for his car. So I was like, okay, like let's do it. So we walked there, and we're walking back, and he's carrying the battery, and he's like way ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit! Like, what am I just fat? Like, am I just out of weight? Am I out of shape? And then I was like, I can't breathe. And my dad, his military side of him, is like, yo, hustle. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, let's get it going. And
let's go.
Yeah, and I've gotten the opportunity to meet your dad since you being a part of the channel at TwitchCon and talking with him over online. Dude, your dad is the military funny guy, but the military is definitely still in him. Hey man, let's go.
Yeah. So he's like, dude, let's hustle. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay. Like, I'm trying. So at that point on, I knew something was wrong. I was starting to not eat, not drink, not go to the bathroom. My vein in my neck here was like out, like popping out, and I could see it throbbing.
Jesus.
So I was like, something's wrong, man. Like, it doesn't seem normal. So I kind of went through my final stages of like December, like because December for high school kids is like finals. They just do their finals, and then they dip out for winter break. So I felt like crap every day. I couldn't sleep laying down. I had to sleep sitting like this in order to feel comfortable. Yeah, I couldn't lay.
Dude,
couldn't lay
how
down.
did you do that?
I don't know, man.
That's insane, bro. Whenever I go to sleep, I have to be in the perfect position. I'm like, I'm a stomach sleeper, and on my side, you know, dude, I could never sleep sitting up. What?
Yeah, so I had to sit like this, and I'd wake up in the night, and I thought it was like asthma mixed with like a stomach bug.
Right.
So I was doing, to get the stomach stuff to go away, I was drinking ginger ale, and I would go through liters of it.
What? No. So what were your parents thinking when you told them all of this?
My mom, my mom and dad were like, it's just asthma. Like we'll just take you when your finals are all done.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm like, God, I can't breathe. Like I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm not eating much. So I'm just like, oh my God. So all my finals, I'm like, yo, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm literally just taking these and I'm just sleeping because I could sleep sitting up.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I literally would just take them and I'm like, here, take it. I'm going to sleep.
Just passed out right
So
there in class.
yeah, just would fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then first day of winter break, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and my dad opens the door and he goes, "Get up, we're going to the hospital." And I'm like, "Whatever, dude, sure." And I
Yeah.
hated hospitals at the time.
Of course.
And we could only go to the military hospital, so we rushed to the military hospital. And they were like, the doctor that we sat down, he's like, "All right, we're gonna put you on a heart monitor, just see what's going on."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Fuck, whatever." So he's like, "Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue." I'm like, "Fuck you mean?"
Yeah.
Like, what? And then he goes, "Yeah, your heart rate is 140 beats per minute sitting, and you haven't walked or ran." And I'm like, "Oh." He's like, "Yes, we're gonna get you to chest X-ray." And I'm like, "Gotcha. So more walking for me."
Right.
Cool. So I
Got
was
it.
like, walk down to the chest X-ray. They did it. Got back to the room. He's like, "Okay, so your heart is 3 times the size of what it's supposed to be. So your heart is your fist." So they said it was enlarged 3 times its size. So it was blowing up out of my chest. That's why I couldn't breathe.
Jesus.
So
So
they go either
what was going on in your head while like so they give you that news, like, so when it goes from when you get the 140 beats per minute, were you like kind of starting to freak out a little bit, or were you still in the mindset of like,
yeah.
oh well, I don't know what's gonna happen?
At that point, I was just I didn't care because I wanted to feel better because I was
Mm,
suffering through this for a month. So I
yeah.
was just like, I
Dude,
was
that's
so out of it.
crazy. Dude, that's crazy
Yeah.
for a month. Now, granted, who knows? But that might have been the beginning stages of this. But dude, a month you dealt with
Yeah.
that. That is
Yeah.
dude, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine living with a headache for a month, dude.
Yeah.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
so they get you to the chest X-ray room. You find out that your heart is 3 times the size.
Yeah.
Does panic start to set in then, or are you still just like, what is going on? What's gonna happen?
I'm still like, what is fucking going on?
Right.
But then on the other side of me, I got pops like,
Freak.
where do we
Yeah.
go? Where do we go? What
Yeah.
is happening?
Yeah,
And
because
I'm
your
like,
dad
they're like,
because your dad knows what's up right now. Like, your dad
oh yeah,
knows what's going on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the doctor said either you can wait for an ambulance to take you to Phoenix Children's Hospital,
Mhm.
or you guys can go. And my dad goes, say less. He gets at the time he didn't have his Jeep. He had a Chrysler 300,
Okay.
fucking souped up,
Yeah.
fucking turbo, fucking just
Ready to
everything.
roll.
He pulls that up. They wheel me out so I didn't have to walk.
Yeah.
Threw me in. I swear, if the cops were paying attention that day, we both could have went to jail. He was going like 120 on the freeway
Just
getting us there.
flying.
And so we zoomed there, and he goes, "Wait here. I'm going in to tell him." So he goes to the ER, and they get him, and they bring out a fucking bed. They lift me out of the car, put me
Yeah.
on it. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. 5 to 10 minutes of being in there, they're like, "You're gonna need a heart transplant." And
Jesus.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's
A heart
sticking me with,
transplant, bro. That is
yeah, dude.
like in terms of transplants, that's got to be like the biggest one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude, did your dad know, like right when that news was shared, like, hey man, you're gonna have to have a heart transplant? Like, I can imagine as a parent, he was, oh my God, freaking out.
Oh yeah, he was mad at them. He's like, "My son's so fucking healthy. What do you mean?"
Yeah,
What are
you were
talking
playing
about?
sports at the time and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff, dude. And
yeah.
so when they hit you with and now what was your thought immediately when they were like, hey man, you need a heart transplant?
I was like, "What?" Like, I was like, "Come again? Who?" I was like, what are one of those?"
Yeah.
And then from that point on, they just, I mean, once it hits that point, I started to lose consciousness, and I don't remember much.
Really?
So from it was December 20th to December 31st, I went on a very rapid decline.
Right.
They were trying to cure it with medicine because that's
Yeah.
usually what you can do. And it just wasn't working. I was
Right.
gradually each day getting worse and worse and worse.
Right.
And then they were like, okay, we're gonna have to. I mean, you're listed on a transplant thing, but we're gonna need to get you something to, keep you tided over until then.
Yeah.
So they put what it's called a left ventricular assist device in,
Okay.
and it's a little pump that sits under your heart in your under on the other side of your rib cage, and it's a continuous cycle. It's a flow.
Okay.
So you don't have a beat. It's just a continuous flow to
Pumping
keep your
blood
heart
and
going.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
So they put one of those in as a bridge to get to transplant. And the second they put that in, I was good to go.
Really? Like you were able to like get up and walking and all that, or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I spent like 17 days in after that, kind of getting used to it. They had to train me how to use it, how to change it, stuff like that. And
How to
all that
change
stuff.
it?
I had to change. So I was plugged into normal wall power, a normal
What?
socket.
Like an
Yeah,
iPhone?
yeah, I was
Jesus
like an iPhone.
Christ.
Yeah, so I was plugged into that, and then I would have to, when I wanted to go out, I'd have to put on batteries. So I had to disconnect from one thing at a time from the wall to the batteries so that I could.
What?
Yeah, so
And this was this all at the hospital? Like during this time, you never left the hospital?
No, I was actually the first kid released with that pump from Phoenix Children's. They didn't allow kids to do that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we pushed to do that because at the time I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pretty big dude at 16.
Right.
I was almost full grown already. So my dad was doing a bunch of research. He's like, hey, the Mayo Clinic has people that have these and they fucking go home. Why can't he?
Right.
So they're like, well, I guess you're right. And we're like, yeah, like why not recover at home instead of sitting in a hospital?
Yeah, dude, the hospitals are weird, man.
Yeah, dude, I hated it. So they said, okay, so what we'll do is we'll release you and then you'll do your aftercare with Mayo Clinic until we find you a heart.
Yeah.
So that's what I did from middle of January to March 23rd when my transplant happened. That's all I did was prepare for it.
So at home, what kind of like with that pump that was in there, what kind of like restrictions were you on? What could you do? Like what couldn't you do? All that kind of stuff. And this is still pre-transplant.
Yeah, so I had a shit ton of restrictions.
Okay.
Couldn't go back to school, obviously.
Right.
When you brought up the stomach sleeping, it hit home. Couldn't sleep on my stomach.
Yeah.
And I'm a stomach sleeper.
Yeah, God.
Yep, I couldn't shower.
What?
Yeah, because I had a cord coming out of my stomach that where the like all went in and stuff, and that's where the controller was. And
oh my God, dude.
Yeah, dude. So I was fucking sink bath boy for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was rough. It sucked.
Holy hell.
You can shower with them now.
Yeah.
But like at the time, it just I was like, no.
Yeah,
I'm not
for
doing
sure.
this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had that. I was on Coumadin, which is I think that's what it's called. It's a blood thinner. So I couldn't have any green vegetables, which I was like fiending for.
Yeah, of course. After a little while.
It goes against the medicine, so I couldn't have that. There were just a bunch of food restrictions, like things that would counteract against the medicine I was taking.
Right. What were you eating? Like what was an average meal like for you at that time?
So my dad was helping me out a lot. Like I was thankful to have him around and he didn't have to work and like he could just be like my home nurse.
Yeah.
I was pretty much eating like chicken, rice, vegetables, beef, rice, vegetables.
Right.
Just anything that was lean and healthy to get me like the proper nutrients. I was
just
also
no
doing
greens in the vegetables, right?
No greens.
Right.
I could do like corn, fucking like anything else, but like green beans, lima beans, lettuce, like any of that. But I was doing physical therapy to like get stronger every day to kind of prepare for the transplant.
Yeah. What were they having you do during physical therapy?
They'd have me do 10 minutes on a treadmill, 10 minutes on a bike, and then like 15 minutes of weights, really
Okay.
light weight.
Okay.
And I would do that 3 times a week.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I hated doing it. I didn't want to.
Of course, no kid ever
I
wants to do physical therapy, bro.
yeah, so I
No
was
kid
like
ever wants to. God, I had to rehab
16
an
years
ankle one time, and I would have rather just stayed broken.
exactly. You're just like,
God.
why?
Yeah.
Like, I hate this.
Yeah.
And so I did all that, and you know, I say it now that I hated it, but I'm thankful I did it because it prepared me to get out quicker from the hospital.
Really?
Because yeah, so I was like, so once I, you know, had the pump, had my all my restrictions, went through all the process, they so like I got invited out March 22nd to a White Sox Giant spring training game.
Okay, cool.
They
Because
invited me.
yeah, because a lot of the spring training games are held in Arizona. Quite a few of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yep. So they saw my story about me because a bunch of news stations did things about me. Like, first kid released, he's like this crazy dude.
And
Like,
this is
they did
all
news
still
stories.
pre-transplant.
Yeah, this is all pre.
Okay.
So this was March 22nd. They invited me out. They wanted me to do like a home run for life.
Okay.
And they shared my story. They stopped the game at the second inning. And I was like, yo, I ain't gonna be able to swing this bat. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, they had you go out on the field and
Yeah,
take a
I stood
hack?
at home. Yeah, I was at home plate, and all the White Sox were to the right of me on first base line.
Yeah.
And the Giants were to the right of me or the left of me on third base line. And I'm like,
Holy hell.
they had me up on the big screen, and like they had the loudspeakers in the
Yeah.
crowd, and I'm just standing there with the bat, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to swing this thing.
Yeah.
So then they say like, hit the home run. So I just went like,
Yeah.
like, whatever I could do, and I went and high-fived all the White Sox,
Yeah.
and then went across and high-fived all the Giants, and I just went up back in the crowd, and everybody's cheering for me like, yo, bro, like,
Yeah.
don't worry, like, the heart will come.
Yeah.
So we get home that night, and we got the call for the heart that night.
Really?
No joke.
Holy
That
hell.
night.
That's crazy. I just got
playing-
the chills, by the way. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Gives me chills every time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
wild.
It's incredible.
And so right
Yeah.
from there, what happens?
When they gave me the call, I was just like, it's happening. Like,
Now, was the
I'm
heart
like, holy
sent?
shit.
Was the heart sent to the Mayo Clinic or to the Arizona, like the
Phoenix Children's?
yeah, Phoenix Children's?
So it's a process. So you have to, like, they say, hey, we might have a heart. Be ready. Click.
Right.
They don't give you any more information.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
then they call you again and say, yes, this is yours. Be here at this time.
Right.
So what they do is they time it because they want it to be perfectly timed for you
Right.
to get the heart perfectly. So I was in surgery with my old heart out, and they were flying in with the new one and got it, and they had it. They had it in an igloo cooler.
Yeah. So I'll put some links down below so people can see it. But I got to watch one of the original interviews with you that happened like right after all of this, and they were they actually had what looked to be I don't know if this is true or not, but the actual footage of them wheeling in the heart on the cooler, like a literal just ice cooler, igloo ice cooler on wheels.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
That's what they do. Yeah. So I was chest cracked open, ready to go for them to just bring it in, do what they need to do, plop it in, sew it up, and then good to go.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole process. Like, I had to get there at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then they clean you, like they wipe you down with these really sterile wipes.
Yeah.
They tell you what's going to happen. And then 8 a.m. rolls by, and they're like, you sign this dotted line, this happens. You don't sign it,
and
you go back.
And you had to sign it, correct?
Yeah, I had to sign it.
Yeah,
My
because
parents did
like,
not
dude,
sign
there's
that.
so many liabilities, bro. Like, yeah.
Yep.
God, that's But of course, you're like, dude, I'm not reading shit. I'm signing this thing. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I sat there for a few minutes. They gave it to me, and I won't lie to you, I sat there for about 20 minutes before I signed it.
Really? You read it all?
Yeah. I didn't read it. I just contemplated what I wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course you wanted the heart, guy. Of course you want to live.
Yeah, but
Jesus.
you get so comfortable with the pump that you second guess, like, do I really want to do this?
Really?
Because your chance of living is, yeah, they're gonna save you, but something could go wrong.
Yeah, not only during the operation, but post-op too. Because
so like
I know that sometimes the body will reject organs. Like
Yeah.
obviously
Hmm.
you know that my dad went through something similar,
Yeah.
and that was the
Yep.
big fear, was that it was going to get, the body wasn't going to actually take it in and just reject it.
Hmm. Yep. And that was one of my fears, was like, is this going to accept me? Am I
Yeah.
going to be okay?
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to live through this? So
Yeah.
yeah, they threw it in. It was 11-hour surgery.
Dude.
Um, yeah, because I was in, like, they got with my heart around like 11,
Mhm.
but I was like chest cracked open, prepped, ready before that, and I was on bypass, so like I was good
Yeah.
alive. I just didn't have my heart in me. So yeah, they plopped it in, and it was 11-hour surgery, and they pulled me out, and they said, hey, like, he's gonna have enough anesthesia to not keep him knocked out for at least a day,
Right.
and not even 5 minutes of being back in my room, I was already awake.
Really?
So there, yeah, anesthesia just runs through me like it's so quick. Like
That's
I don't,
wild.
doesn't phase me. And I was awake, like, what's up?
That's
Like looking
wild.
around, like what's going on? And then yeah, man, I got out 9 days after that. Had
9
my
days after you got a brand new heart.
yeah, man, yeah, it's
9
crazy.
days after
9
a
days.
new body part was put in, the most important body part was put inside of
Yeah,
you. Dude,
yep,
so during those 9 days, what was going on? Were you just complete, because I've seen some pictures, and what I'm going to have you send me some of them, and we'll actually like put them up somewhere on here so you can see
yeah.
them. But what's going on in these 9 days?
They're just getting you like normal to prep and like be ready for to like move
Right.
forward. Like they're
Right.
getting you like your meds, like they're prepping you with all your meds. They're making sure your dosages are correct, because they want to make sure that when you leave, that you're not going to be stuck, like, in a predicament where your meds are fluctuating too much and then
Right.
it's affecting the heart.
Right.
They want to make sure everything is perfect to a T, so that when you leave, you go home and then all you have to worry about is taking your meds and coming back for your checkups.
Right.
I was obviously doing a lot of walking on the ICU, because that's the only place I could walk. I
Yeah.
couldn't really go anywhere else. So I was doing my rounds on the ICU, circling, just trying to show them that, hey,
I
I'm
can,
ready to go home.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't want to like be in here longer.
Right.
So me showing them that I could do that was like me saying, hey, like, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah, of
Like I want to move
course.
forward with this.
Of
Um,
course.
so then they were doing my normal checkups on my heart, like doing ultrasounds, just seeing how everything was like going after transplant to make sure
Right.
nothing would be wrong. And then 9 days hits, they say, hey, you get to go home today.
Dude,
So
and were you just overexcited?
dude, I was pumped. I was ready to go. I was like, let's do it. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, of
Like, let's go
course.
home.
Yeah.
And like my dad was already prepping the house before, because he had to clean it and
Yeah.
like be like extra sanitary. So he cleaned the entire house.
Yeah, cuz
And
I
then
obviously I know that post all of this, dude, it is a sanitary, everything has to be literal hospital floor type
yeah,
deal.
yeah, yep. It has to be like spotless. Those
Yeah.
first like year of the transplant is like crucial time to be like clean.
Cannot get sick, nothing can
No,
yeah.
nothing. Yeah,
That's the same,
you
yeah,
have
same
to
thing with
be.
my pop too. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's just you have to prep. And then I went home, and it was just been the journey since then. It's been checkups after checkups, blood draws,
Yeah.
just making sure everything's regulated.
Yeah, because I know you go what, once a month, couple times a month?
Yeah, I go once a month for blood draws,
Yeah.
and then things that they do now, that so I'm now 6 years out post my
6 years
transplant.
out, dude.
Yeah, so 6 years out. So they kind of ease off of you a little bit,
Right.
but those first like 2 years are just constant testing,
Right.
constantly in your ass, just like
Just to make
making
sure
sure
that,
things are
yeah.
good. And then they wean off.
Yeah. Now obviously, so you have to take like specific medication like
Hmm.
every day, correct? For like the
Yeah,
rest of
every
your
day.
life.
Yep.
What are you
Yeah.
taking? Do you know off the top of your head? Well, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure
So
you
I
do.
take I take two immunosuppressant medications. So they tank my immune system,
Huh?
so that the T cells. So you have T cells. Whenever you get sick, those attack whatever's
Right.
in the virus is in you.
Right.
So Mine have a wall over them because if those come out, they'll attack my heart because they see my heart as a foreign body.
Oh
So
shit.
so there's a
What?
wall over that. Yeah, so there's a wall over them that whenever if I don't take I've asked them but I haven't done it cuz
Of
it's
course.
curiosity.
Yeah.
There's kids that have not taken it for like a week, and a week is enough for it to damage the heart severely for a
Dude.
long time.
That's
Yeah.
so you got to be on it because I know when we were actually in California for TwitchCon. Obviously, that was the first time I got to meet you and your pop, and
Mhm.
there was a day where literally you guys had to leave because
Mhm.
you didn't take the pills with you that day, and you
Yeah.
guys literally had to like leave for the night because like your hotel was a little bit further away and you hadn't taken them and it had been a while. And I remember
Yep.
looking at your dad and your dad being like, Brett, like, no, we got to go. Like you
Yep.
have to you have to take these. Like
Yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
for
You
real
have
thing.
to.
Like I would be
Yeah.
afraid to miss a day.
Yeah, I've had moments where I've missed days. It
Yeah.
happens, you're human.
Of
Like
course. Yeah.
it's going to come out of nowhere. But I try not to do like often.
Right.
Like I would say for this month I haven't missed a dose.
Right.
And I don't think I've missed a dose in probably 3 months.
And
So,
how often are you having to go back to get refills? Now, do you
I
just go to
actually
like a local pharmacy or something or?
so no, actually I get luckily with my dad with his like military insurance and stuff.
Right.
There's a military pharmacy. They actually send me my medication, so I don't have
Oh,
to go get it.
cool.
Yeah, so that I just order it online and it comes to me in the mail.
That's awesome.
So I never
So
have to worry
yeah,
or
that's
anything.
fire. That it gets
Yeah.
shipped directly to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So during those first 2 years post-op, right after getting it, obviously, life has officially changed.
hmm
What was going on during that time? You still weren't going to school, correct?
So once I actually had my transplant in March, I went back for the fall. Like
Really?
I was ready to go for the fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that when you talk sanitary wise and not getting sick, especially in the
Oh
fall?
man.
When that flu starts coming through, huh?
It is rough. Like
Really?
I'm telling you, you have dude. I I got stared at, but I embraced it.
Of
I
course.
had to
Yeah.
wipe my desk down every class I went to.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer everywhere. I couldn't take my meds like in my backpack. I had to do them to the school nurse. So I had to go
Okay.
every morning at 9 a.m. to the school nurse for her to give me my medication.
Wow. Okay.
So that I did that. I couldn't have school lunches, so I brought my own lunch,
Yeah.
and it was just constantly having to wash my hands.
Yeah.
And if someone was sick in the classroom, the teacher would move me to the other side,
Yeah.
and I would like just be extra cautious. Like
God. So
yeah,
you talk about obviously this is a 2020 interview on July 21st. My dog has been prepped for this
yeah,
moment his entire
oh
life,
yeah,
dude.
oh yeah, dude, yeah,
Because
yep.
I know one of the things that I'm a big dude and I always and you and I have talked about this in the past, but I'm a big dude and whenever I have to travel flying wise, it's always a pain in my ass. And then I
hmm
hear the way that you have to travel and
yeah,
dude, I got it so easy.
yeah.
Tell me what it's like for you traveling on a plane. Even
Um,
now, 6 years post op.
it's the same thing no matter what. I gotta have a mask on while I'm in the airport and on the plane the entire time.
Yeah.
I have to wipe down the chair and the
Yeah.
tray table. Um, luckily airplane food's like packaged, so it's not
Yeah.
worried about
Especially
that.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just making sure everything's wiped down. But yeah, I have to have that mask on at all times
No matter what.
because yeah, because you think about it for anybody, you're in a vacuum sealed tube with
Yeah.
a bunch of people. You're
Yeah.
sharing the same air.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna be breathing in what they breathe in, but there's gonna be some sort of
Right.
protection with a mask. So, it's like I prepared for this like years in advance. Like
Yeah.
people would look at me and be like,
Yeah,
"What
because
the hell?"
it's crazy. You think back to that. You think back to literally a year ago. If I saw somebody on the plane with a mask on, I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
why are you wearing that? Are you about to die?" And but you've been doing that and now because now it is so like that is if you haven't traveled yet, I've gotten the opportunity to fly. And dude, it is a whole new world. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's spaced out. They give you all the hand sanitizer right when you hit the plane. It's like right before you get on the plane, it's hand sanitizer. Right when you hit the plane, hand sanitizer. They bring
Yeah.
around wipes. We wipe down everything. And
Mhm.
dude, I have never been like that ever in my life. It's always just been, all right, I'm just gonna go fly. And so, like, you've been doing this for so long now, and
Mhm.
I can't imagine the looks that you got before any of this ever happened.
Yeah, I got it sucked, but like you kind of just learn to embrace it.
Yeah.
Um, especially me being like I'm not the biggest dude, but I mean I'm
Right.
6'1",
Yeah.
so most people aren't my height, so they're intimidated by seeing a big dude with a mask on.
Yeah. It's
So then they're like,
pre-COVID.
"What?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
they're like, "What is going on?" So like I used to just stare back at people. That was my counter
Yeah.
to like if you're
Yeah.
gonna make this awkward, I'll make it awkward
Yeah.
too.
We'll roll with it, bro. What's up?
I
That's so
used to get
funny.
people like on the side of me. I'd see like out of my
Yeah.
peripheral
You
vision.
can
I'd see
always feel
someone.
somebody staring at you.
Yeah, so I'd do the typical like quick head turn and stare, and they'd be like, "Oh, oh, oh, God, okay." Like they just didn't expect it, and then of course, like I'm the idiot, like trying to make it awkward for
Yeah, of
people.
course. Of
But
course.
you get used to it. Like you start to just not think about it, and it just becomes your like normal way of life.
Right. Of
And
course.
so like when I leave the house, like, I think now, especially with the virus, like, do I have a mask? Do I have hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
And just in case, do I have gloves?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that when I go, like, I have to think about that. If I go out with friends, I'm like, okay,
Mm.
do I have hand sanitizer? Do I have my meds for the night so that I can take them?
Yeah.
So I have to like prep way ahead to
Yeah.
think about that and like spend the night at homies' houses.
Yeah.
But like in high school was a shit show.
Really?
Cause they have to like I luckily had some really good my best friends. They were super cooperative with it and like understood.
Right.
But I have to make sure that I'm like, hey yo, like, do you have an extra bed? And
Yeah.
are the sheets clean? The pillowcases clean? I
God.
have to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like it sucks.
Yeah,
I
you're
have
the
to be
guy
an
where everyone's like,
asshole.
dude, fuck, man, Brett's coming. I gotta clean everything, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's literally how it is. I feel like an ass, but like
Yeah.
that's what I have to do to be able to do those kind of things.
Yeah. God, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. I can't even
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
But like I said before, you were playing sports before this happened.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
immediately after post up, what was your physical activity like during that time? Because I know you've gotten back into working out here over the past couple of years, off and
Yeah.
on, that kind of thing. But I know that post operation, you can't just get back to it, right?
Oh no, 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 no.
So
You got especially chest.
right,
Chest day is probably my lightest day.
really,
Yeah, because I have to just be careful with the scar.
mm-hmm.
And I tell this people every time, and they freak out. But my chest is held together by 3 wires, twisted
Good.
wires. So there's top, middle, bottom, and they're
Mm.
just held together. So it's
God,
healed now. By now, the bone's probably healed back,
right,
but it's still a really sensitive area.
yeah, of course,
So like doing chest day hurts a lot, so I don't do a lot. But
right,
from the time that transplant happened, I eased into things really, really slowly
right,
to kind of. But like in cardio wise, I could do anything.
really,
Like anything cardio wise, anything lifting had to kind of take it slower.
yeah,
But obviously, like I always get the question, how'd you feel after?
mhm.
I didn't remember what normal felt like. So
Really,
when they put that hard in, I felt like $1,000,000, dude. I was ready to go. I
right,
was like, first day I got home, I was like, I want to run. No one in their
really,
mind should say I want to run.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
Like no one should want to say I want to run really badly. But with a new heart, you want to feel that blood
yeah,
pumping.
pumping,
Like
yeah,
you got like you're like, holy shit, like let's do it. And that's what I did. I just ran.
that's
And
crazy.
I was like, man, like this feels incredible.
Yeah, dude, it's a new life, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of people take for granted is that, like we're like, especially me for sure, without a doubt. I'm like, dude, that sounds terrible. I do
Yeah.
not want to go run. But dude, it puts into perspective if you can't do that, if that is on the verge and has been taken away from you, dude,
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, dude, I want to be just a racehorse and just
Yeah.
go running, bro.
Yeah. That's what I did, man. Like what my second or third day home, I just went outside and I just took a deep breath and I just ran. No
God,
music, no phone,
just
just
wanted to feel
me.
it.
I wanted to feel it. And like it was incredible. Like
God,
never felt before. And like that's what I always tell people, like, don't take life for granted. Like you have to live every day like it's your last. I know it
yeah,
sounds so cheesy and stupid,
yeah,
but like, here's me, a high school kid that didn't give a shit about anything,
right,
to literally be put on my deathbed and being like, well,
yeah,
here I am. What do
yeah,
I like? I can't do
God,
anything about it. So yeah, I mean, I like everything I did with a purpose. Like
yeah, of
I made
course,
sure I stayed healthy, like lifting, like going through like working out and stuff. I made sure that my working out was going towards me getting stronger
hmm
and using what I have, like like using my gift. It's a gift you've been given.
yeah,
You take care of it,
of course,
like it's
absolutely,
I wanted to play baseball in high school,
hmm
and I pushed to do it, and my doctor said, hey, like, it's probably not the best thing to do,
yeah, of course,
because you could probably
especially.
get hit. So,
Yeah,
you know,
especially with that scar too, and early on, swinging a bat and
yeah,
all and throwing. Oh my
yeah,
God, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I sat out my my junior year. They let me be like a manager,
yeah,
and like I decked out in like the whole gear
yeah,
still.
yeah,
I would still like hang out and stuff. And then senior year, I did do like the tryouts and like
right,
all that stuff. And then I was part of the roster. I just didn't. I was just like, I don't want to.
yeah. I feel
It's
that.
just like I was just like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
once high school ended,
it's got to be tough too, though, because that is a sport that you love and that you want to play, and then not
yeah,
being able to play it must suck to be around it. Be around it too, because even I played baseball my entire life, and
hmm
when it ended, I resented it. Like I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want
hmm
anything to do with it anymore. Like I did it. I'm cool as it's in the past. So I can't imagine being around that, especially when you want so badly to
hmm
be fully a part of it and on the team and playing and getting start time and all that shit. So yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. How it's like, look, man, it just got to be too much. I'm just over it.
yeah. So my senior year, they said the same thing,
Mhm.
but what happened was my senior year is I was like, I'm feeling like, it's been a year, I
Mhm.
can do things. So I would do all the normal things that everybody would do. I just wouldn't play.
Right.
So I'd hit BP. I'd
Damn.
play,
Yeah.
I'd warm up, tossing the ball, and then, I would go out and do pregame, but I'd come back in.
Right.
Like it just wasn't safe for me to, especially being I was an outfielder,
Yeah.
that ball could come down and miss. I could
Yeah.
misjudge it and it hits my chest,
Yeah.
or even batting and I turn wrong and
Yeah.
that ball comes in and
hmm
hits. So I was doing all the stuff with them and I did that my whole senior year and it was awesome. Like that was therapy for me. That
Right.
was my like therapy from forgetting about what happened with the transplant
Yeah.
and focusing on something that was fun. And then senior year ended and I'm like, well, fuck. Like my friends are going off to college. Like
Yeah.
I don't get to see them. So then I actually got a gig with my community college where like 6 of our guys committed to. And
Damn. Okay.
he's like, "Hey man, I hear, all these guys are coming here and you're left behind. Hey, come be the manager here, bro. Like
Okay.
come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Like, do the same thing you were doing." And that's what I did. Like I just went with them. It
Right.
was literally like being a player.
Yeah.
So it sucked cuz like
Obviously, you want
I
to
would go to
play. Like, yeah, you want to
yeah.
play. Like, and that
Yeah.
and that
So
was that's my biggest thing, and that's what I was getting at. There is like, you know, it it is because teams what teams do, especially baseball guys. I know football is a little bit different, but generally speaking, teams, dude, those are like your brothers. Those are your
yeah.
homies, and like
Yeah.
that is one thing that I will never ever forget about playing sports for as long as I did and being on different teams was the camaraderie with those dudes and in the locker room and on the bus for traveling. All
Mhm.
of that stuff is stuff that those are all memories that you take with you for life. But when it also at that same time, I can imagine that, it's hard because you want to play. Like you want to
Yeah.
be a part of it.
And that was my way of being a part of it.
Right.
And I felt, I was okay with it, and I was like, like I can't play, but I'm
Happy to
here to
be
help.
there,
Like,
right? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I get to do all the same stuff, and I would be in the cage hitting.
Hmm.
Before the games, I'd be warming some guys up.
Yeah.
I would do everything. I go, talk to guys that were, you get the guys that are the ragers that they come in and they're slamming
That was me,
shit.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and I go up to him like, look, you got another fucking at bat coming
Yeah,
up.
you got two
Grow
more,
up.
bro. Yeah.
Grow up. Let's get it back together here.
Yeah.
Because the coaches were so focused on
Of course.
what's happening next that like
Yeah.
no one could go back and like handle the temper tantrums.
Yeah.
And these are adults. Like these are guys from 18 to 22.
Yeah.
So at the time I was like 19 and I'm like, yo, dude, like come on, let's get this together.
Yeah.
So I was like the team, like, I guess you could say like almost cheerleader in
Yeah.
a way. But like I was like mentoring guys that were like freaking hotheads.
Yeah, of course.
And like telling them to calm down. But it was fun. Like I got to travel with them.
Yeah.
We got to do like all the fun stuff. I
Mhm.
did that for my 2 years at community college.
Yeah.
And it was literally like being a player full time, like just
Yeah.
class practice.
Yeah, you were on the grind too, sort of. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
that.
so it
That's
was
wild.
it was fun, but I pulled out of it, and because I went an extra year at community college, just to kind of get some prereqs out of
Yeah.
the way, and they offered to me to do it again. I was like, you know what, like I think I'm just done. Baseball's over now. Like I think it's
Yeah.
time to move.
Yeah.
So I moved on from it.
That's always a tough thing too from both ends of the spectrum, is being able to know when time's up,
Yeah.
know when it's time to hang it up. And that's
Yeah.
a really hard thing to do for a lot of people, is to really like evaluate what's going on and then go, all right, man, do I keep going or is it just it? Like, because that's the truth, man. Like no matter your time, no matter what's going on, your time will come. Like the time's going to come when you just got to hang it up. And so I know that feeling all too well. So
Yeah.
I fully understand, especially at that point in time. Like, all right, man, like this was cool. And I'd imagine too, after that third year, a lot of those guys that you came over with after their second year were gone. Like they all dipped out too.
Yep, that's the reason I didn't want to. Is all my best friends were gone. They were at universities. They were, they're at their next stop, and I'm like, well,
that's it.
I guess this is my last stop.
Yeah.
Like this is where I'm at. So I had thoughts, like, because I transferred to Arizona State University, and I had thoughts of like doing it there, but I was like, their school, like for me to where I live to them is like an hour drive. So
Yikes.
yeah, I'm like, I don't want to go from class to home doing all that. So I was just like, I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't think I could travel with them.
Yeah.
My heart, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So,
one of the things that you said earlier that I wanted to touch on too is, right when you got back, you wanted to run, you wanted to feel the blood pumping, because it is a new life. And to get that heart, to have a new life, one's got to go, right?
Yep.
And so I know that you got to talk with the family that that actually donated the heart to you, and figure out everything about it. I know I've seen the letters that they've sent you and stuff like that in the past. What kind of feeling was that talking with that family?
Just via letters, it was hard, but it was also like gave me a better, like, it made me more come to peace with everything.
Right.
Because I felt at the time, I was like, I don't deserve this.
Right.
Like this isn't for, like, I did not deserve this. I didn't deserve to take someone's life for me to move on. I was like, yo, like if I have to go, it's my time. Let it be. But they were, they made that like whole coming to peace the last part that I needed.
Right.
And them saying like, hey, like, someday we want to meet you.
Yeah.
We don't know when, but one day we want to.
Yeah.
And then explaining who he was as a person and like correlating that to me.
Right.
I was like, this guy was literally me. Like
really,
his characteristics and his traits were me. He said
Damn.
he was a caring, loving, and always happy person.
Yeah.
He was always like interacting with people. It was crazy with baseball. He won 2 high school state championships, and
Jesus.
I loved baseball.
Yeah, of
So I was
course.
like, "Holy crap!" Something I don't really tell people because it's like my hidden thing
Mhm.
that I picked up, that you can like you pick up traits from your donor in
Right.
weird ways.
Yeah.
There's always those weird stories, and I was like, "That's false. That's stupid."
Right.
But you do.
Really?
I woke up the morning of my transplant, and I wanted like tacos, enchiladas, burritos, and then
What?
yeah, I'm like, "Yo, like give me everything." And they
Yeah.
brought it to me, but I was like, "Yo, like I never crave this in the morning. What the hell's wrong with me?"
Right.
And then 6 months later, the doctor that went to go get the heart,
Mhm.
they can't tell you anything. It's all
Of
confidential.
course. Yeah.
The one thing he could tell me was his race. And I was like, I have all these cravings. Was he Hispanic? And he
Yeah.
goes, yeah, he was. And I'm like,
Damn, that's
well,
wild.
yeah. So I got to find out like that small thing about him,
Yeah.
that I was having all these cravings. So like I made it a joke that whenever like with after all this happened, that like with that craving, I did all the hottest hot wing challenges at all the bars
Yeah.
that you like, Buffalo Wild
Yeah.
Wings, Hooters.
Yeah.
I've done them all
Yeah.
as a joke because like I used to hate hot sauce. I know that sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but I love it now. It has to be on almost everything I eat.
Really?
Yeah, it's
And
just
you think
crazy.
that that all stems from the heart,
Yeah,
from like that one of those traits?
yeah, yeah.
How long before that family reached out? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? The
Uh,
donor's family.
so so the donor, my heart came like when I got my heart, they sent a letter with it.
Oh, really?
So they wrote a letter right there when they said, "Hey, your loved one's not going to make it.
Yeah.
We're going to donate their organs." They wrote out a letter, and then it looked like it was photocopied. So he
Uh-huh.
probably donated a lot of organs.
Yeah.
And then it came with my heart, and I was the first organ to ever come into Phoenix Children's
Wow.
with a letter from the family.
Wow.
So that letter was the first one, them reaching to us, and
Wow.
then we reached out to them, and then a couple months later they reached out to us,
Right.
explaining more about him,
Okay.
and then we've every year, I was after like 2 years, we've every year we send him a letter updating how I am in life
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and we haven't heard from him since.
Really?
So I think it's just more like when they're ready.
Right.
Like whenever they're ready to do it, I'll be welcome with open
Of
arms.
course.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So being that they are Hispanic, a lot of the letters had to come translated.
Oh,
So
okay.
the donor network emails me a copy of what they sent and then the translated version.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
so so we're gonna have to like somehow find a translator for us
Yeah.
to be able to talk to them and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's cool that they can do that, like translate, the
Yeah.
letters for us, and like be able to like help understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's just cool, like it kind of all tied in, like that makes sense, like the cravings and all that, and like
Yeah.
all like it makes sense now. But the day comes, I'm ready to meet them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna be like, hey, like something that I my parents and I talked that I want to do is I have a stethoscope
Uh-huh.
that I have from the hospital that they gave me.
Yeah.
I want to bring that and have them listen, like, hey, your
Yeah.
loved one
Yeah.
is
Right here.
within me,
Is
like right here, like
God, that's wild, man. Is
yeah,
it has the only reason why like you said, is it just because, they're not ready to reach out and to like meet or what? Like what?
yeah. It's it takes time for everybody. It's
Yeah.
everybody's processing with losing a loved one.
Yeah.
We've told them whenever you guys want to, we're
Yeah.
more than open to do it. It's all on them, and I backed it. Like, hey, you lost a loved one. That's hard
Yeah.
as to go through, and especially since he was the youngest of 4 siblings.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
and
man.
he was a father as well. So that
Wow.
killed me. Like he has a
Yeah.
kid that you know he won't get to see and
Yeah.
grow
Damn.
up. So that killed me, and so like that has to be hard for them to
Of
go through, and I
course.
understand.
Of
So
course.
that's why I give them their space. I don't blow them up all the time.
Yeah.
I just do my yearly thing where I say, hey, like how I'm doing, what I've been doing,
Hmm.
stuff like that, to let them know that I'm not being an idiot and
Yeah.
taking what I got for granted.
Right. And that
Yeah,
is the biggest thing is not taking that gift for granted, because there was pain that was given out, like like
yeah,
somebody lost a dad, somebody lost a son, a brother, like that's something that you can't take for granted, and it shouldn't be wasted. And obviously I'm not saying that you do at all, because I know you.
oh yeah,
I know that you live life to the fullest at every chance you
yep,
can, that's for sure.
yep,
um
yep,
God, that's wild.
yeah,
What is some of the restrictions that you have right now? Because we talked literally yesterday or 2 days ago, and because here recently I've been doing a lot of ice baths and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, dude, you ought to try and jump into an ice bath, man. It's like literally, it's like changing my life. And you were like, yeah, bro, I can't do that.
Yeah, so instant shock to my heart is a no-go.
Yeah.
So like defibrillators,
Hmm.
obviously if they need to be used, they will.
Right.
But if it's just like if someone tases me for some odd reason in public, because if they feel scared, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be screwed. Um
God.
like any like quick shocks or like freezing cold water,
Yeah.
I have to ease into. I can't just dunk.
Right.
I have to go step by step
Right.
by step, and so that my body gets used to it. Um, and I know this one's gonna hit you hard. No caffeine.
No
I can't
caffeine.
have any.
As I'm
I
sitting
can't
here
have
drinking
any
coffee, right? This is the
coffee.
largest thing of coffee this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wild, because we talked about in the past where especially early on, first knowing you, I'd be like, yeah, man, because that was when I was drinking like a bunch of Red Bulls too. I try and cut it down to like
yeah,
one cup of coffee a day. But I'd
yeah,
be like, dude, Brett, like grab a Red Bull and let's get after it tonight. Like stay up with me, whatever. And you'd be like, bro,
yeah,
like I can't do that. Dude, I can't do that. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember not understanding at first. And I was like, oh wait, this motherfucker, like that's what this does. It elevates the heart rate, it gets you pumping, gets you ready to
yeah.
go.
It gets you. Yeah, it gets you going. I can't have certain fruits like I can't have grapefruit.
Really?
Grapefruit and pomegranate counteract with some of my pills. So fruity stuff I have to kind of read the label before.
Right.
Um so I can have and see people that watch this are gonna hate me, but they'll I mean obviously they'll
Yeah, they're
understand.
gonna understand, bro.
But I know,
Yeah.
but like I've had people be like, you're insane. Like burgers, they have to be well done.
Yeah.
Steaks have to be well done.
Yeah.
Um Same thing, like anything has to be cooked thoroughly and
Yeah.
properly to keep me safe. Can't have raw sushi, no raw anything
Yeah.
sushi,
Yeah.
only cooked. So I can only have like shrimp tempura and like imitation crabs fine. So like California rolls are good.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
have that, but
Dude, I know how that. So I didn't realize, and I guess it makes sense, because it's a lot with keeping that organ healthy, because my dad is in the same boat where he can't,
yep,
everything that you just listed he can't have either, and he got a
yeah,
liver transplant.
yeah,
um
yep,
and like, so I know that, like, whenever we would, going out to eat can sometimes be a little bit more difficult for him, because
yeah,
it's all this food that he used to love, like he's had for forever. And I can imagine the same thing with you. Some of the, like, your
mhm,
favorite food before now might be different. I mean, sometimes you can't have. So, like, if I'm out at like if we're out at like a steakhouse, he's like, fuck, man.
mhm.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna order a fillet just well done. Like, I'm not some, I'm not a shithead, bro. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah,
But he'll on the occasion have like one bite of a steak, like a rare steak, just one
mhm,
small little
yeah,
piece, just to like kind of be like, oh man, like that's what that was, like that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
still, no
You can,
raw. He'll never do raw fish. He'll never do any like
yep.
oil. None of that. It's all got to be cooked.
Yep, I understand that, and I have my moments where I'll do it. Like, um, my girlfriend, she loves Red Bull and she loves coffee.
Yeah,
So like, she's a caffeine addict.
yeah,
So when we go to the like a little coffee shop, I'm like, yo, let me get a sip of
yeah.
that.
Just like a quick little sip.
Yeah, and like I'll be like, oh, that tastes good. That's what coffee tastes like.
Yeah,
And I
get
gotta
get
be
that
careful.
memory refresh for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I've had some scares. I thought taking like a mouthful to kind of just like it's like that video of that kid that's like sitting at the it was the meme where he's sitting at the table with the beer and
Yes.
he like takes a quick sip and
Yeah.
she's like, Adrian, Michael.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
me when I see like a Red Bull, I'm just like, oh, like
Real
quickly
quick.
like
Yeah.
get. But I had one time where I took a whole mouthful and in it and I was like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
Heart rate through the roof, man. Because
Really?
I don't have those connections and those nerve endings that control that. They're not grown back fully yet. So
Wow.
controlling my heart rate, which is so easy for someone normal, for me, I'm like when I run, I have to walk 5 minutes before to
To like
warm up to get the heart
increase it?
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get it ready and then go into it. And then I have to do a cool down. I can't just stop running.
Right.
Like I have to kind of ease down slowly. So yeah, like
Wow.
I catch myself sometimes like just taking quick sips of things and I'm like, man, I probably
Shit,
shouldn't
I
do
can't
that.
do
Like
that. Yeah. Yeah.
like my girlfriend catches me doing it because she has drinks and I'm like, oh, I'll have a little bit more.
Yeah. God,
She'll
that's
like smack my hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
so
man.
wild to think about.
Yeah.
All of this led to now,
Yeah.
which is, obviously, like I said, you're a mod on my channel. You play games all the time. During this
Yeah.
time frame, I mean, I'd imagine, were you playing video games before,
Oh yeah.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to assume, but I would
Oh yeah.
imagine the love for video games starts early on. Um,
Oh yeah. It started like when I was like 10.
yeah.
I would say.
So
Yeah.
did post op and obviously everything leading up to now, did you really find the love for gaming and hanging out and all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found the passion for like being a part of a community
Yeah.
and I was trying to find a little like my little niche somewhere and I
Yeah.
found your channel.
Yeah.
And then I started just like really getting into it with the people, playing games with them, playing
Yeah.
games with you. And I was just like, man, like I love this. Like this is where I will forever be a gamer at heart.
Right.
Like
And
no matter what, I'll always.
that's one of the things too, man, that I love so much about streaming is, like I said, and we talked about before, is being a part of a team has always been a part of my life, and I know
Mhm.
obviously for you too. So like that again, like that camaraderie, like that those traveling in the locker room, on the field, all that kind of shit,
Mhm.
almost translates to Twitch and to streaming, because like you have your own team, like
Yeah.
everybody's a part of the same team. We all want to grow and we all want to hang out, fuck around, and bullshit with each other. And then there's also the side of the things too where, dude, teammates get into shit. We like
Oh yeah.
everybody's fought with a teammate at one point in time, but dude, that's your
Oh
brother.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
that's your brother. That's somebody that I would go to bat for no matter what. And
Yeah.
that is the essence, and what I love so much about Twitch and streaming is that I get to have I still get to be a part of a team like I once was in the
Oh
past.
yeah. Yeah. I love it. That's exactly how I feel. It was like feeling like I was back to where I was without being in baseball
Right.
and being able to come home and log on and watch you live, and then you got the whole chat like, "Yo, what's up?
Yeah,
How you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, like
How was
what's
your
been
day?"
happening, dude? Yeah. That
Yeah,
kind of
and
thing.
then like, "Hey, like let's hop in Discord, let's talk."
Yeah,
Like
yeah, because our
it's
Discord,
super chill.
the Discord has been crazy active here as of like the past
Yeah,
couple months, especially since coming up here, since making my way up to this house now. It's been wild. Like it's been
yeah,
like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everybody's
yeah,
always, especially on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everyone's hanging out, drinking, partying, and then
yeah,
throughout the week, everyone's just like chilling. Like I know some people need to like really vent and just hop into
yeah,
Discord and be like, dude, my day fucking sucked dick. Here's what happened.
yeah,
So
yeah, and
yeah, man,
that's
it's
what we love about it, man. We try to promote it to get people in there and
yeah,
talk, like,
of
chill,
course.
like,
Make
be
sure you guys
homies.
join our Discord. I'll leave a link to it. Smile.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Exclamation mark Discord.
yeah, dude. It's so rad, man. There's nothing I like. I've thought about this in the past, especially with the community that we have now. Like, it's so insane that like without streaming, I, what we're doing right now would
Wouldn't happen.
never have happened. Like
No.
to hear this story at 16, you got a heart transplant, and to hear
Yeah.
everything up leading up to and after, like, dude, that is crazy. And I'm
Yeah.
so thankful to have so thankful to have been started streaming, and obviously having you here from that time, because think about that too, man. Like, you were just scrolling through
Yep.
and you saw the thumbnail, clicked on it, and were like, hey, and then fuck,
Hmm.
here we are right now. It's
Yeah.
wild, man.
It's insane,
It
man.
is. It's
It
crazy.
blows my mind every year when I hit that year mark
Yeah.
on a sub. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy fuck! Like,
Yeah.
let's rewind. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
What
And then,
happened, dude? That's crazy,
yeah,
man. It's
it's
so
insane,
wild.
man.
It's so
Yeah, it's
wild.
awesome. I love being here. I love hanging out with you guys and you and promoting what we're doing and
Yeah.
having fun. Like, it's awesome community, and I'm thankful for you and everybody that's in it. We have fun. We're a bunch of shitheads, but we
Yeah,
have fun.
exactly. That's the best part, dude. Just the land
Yeah,
of misfit toys, bro.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
love it. Well, listen,
yeah,
man. Dude, I'm so grateful to have you around, and I'm
yeah.
super thankful to have you on the podcast. Where can the people find you at right now, man?
Am I on Twitter at Young Breaders, YUNG Breaders? I'm on Instagram, same thing, YUNG Breaders. Um, I have a Twitch. I stream I try to stream a little bit here and there with
Yeah.
school and stuff. Twitch is just Breaders. That's it. That's all my socials. I got
Yeah, and it, and
Twitter-
I'll have everything linked below and in the
yeah,
description, so make sure you guys check it out. Well, listen, man, brothers,
yeah,
dude, I'm very appreciative, like I said, for having you on. It does mean a
yeah,
lot, and dude, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, man. All right, everybody. I appreciate you coming through. See you soon.